Hello, guys. Welcome to this Workouts for a Little Older Men live broadcast. I am Skip Cour here to answer your questions. Been posting a lot of things on the internet, a podcast, podcasts every single day. Been posting my workouts. A lot of guys have questions about my workouts. Tell you what I'm doing there. But I'm here to visit with you to answer any questions that you might have. Maybe it's a follow-up from some of the podcasts that I have been posting. Maybe it's you've been watching my workout. You want to talk about form or why I'm choosing certain exercises or why I'm breaking up the body parts into which workouts, right? This is the time to ask me or just say, hello. That's our Workouts for Older Men live greeting. Let me know where you're watching me from, what part of the world. Let me know if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, right? I want to answer your questions. As you can see, I've got a lot to say, right? Whether I am posting videos or doing podcasts, right? I know the most common mistakes that older men make when they're trying to build muscle and lose body fat. Talk to men like you every single day, right? And if you are interested in coaching, right, it's the first of the year, right? Here we are into the second week. Are you ready to go? Are the holidays officially over for you? A lot of times I see that, people talk about the gyms are so packed January 1st, right? But usually I find that it's usually about February when it really gets going, the middle of February. All right. So again, I'm so glad you're here. Say hello. I see you watching over on Facebook. I see you watching over on YouTube. So say hello. Have you been watching? I know a lot of the men who visit my social media platforms, they have what I call burner accounts, right? They don't do a lot of posting, a lot of commenting. They want to leave a little trace that they're on the internet as possible. There's a lot of the men who I talk to with coaching, right? So if that's you, I certainly understand that. You can text me a question. Maybe you don't want to post, but you want me to answer your question. That's what I'm here for. You post that number right here on the screen. It's not that you're shy, right? You want to stay low profile. I get it. A lot of men are like you. But do you have any questions about are you listening to the podcast that I'm posting? Hello, Pete. Great to have you here, sir. You can ask me any questions. You want anything going on in the world, right? That pertains to we as older men. You want to talk about fitness. You want to talk about some of the podcasts. Let me know if you're listening to the podcast that I've been posting on my Facebook, YouTube, actually all over social media. What do you think about my workouts? I got a lot of men who may not know of me, what I used to be, a 6-time national champion, drug-free bodybuilder. I've been on the internet since it began and posting, posting and selling VHS tapes way back when and DVDs. And so, they see me lifting this kind of weight at 61 years old and say, oh, that's too much weight. That's too much weight. Well, if that's too much weight for you, then that's fine. I always joke around as if I was lifting, you've been doing this for a couple of years, you're 55, 60 years old, and, I am lifting the same amount of weight as you. Well, I wouldn't be so special, would I? Right. And as you can see, I'm moving the weight. I'm moving it slowly, controlling negative. All right. So, and getting all those reps out. So I got myself covered. Now, you look at that weight. If it's too much for you, you don't need to train as heavy as I do to be effective, So, but again, if I was lifting the weight that you would say, who's this guy? Why should I listen to him? He's been doing this for 34 years. I've been doing it for a year and a half. And I can lift just as much weight as him, right? Wouldn't be so impressive. All right. We got some questions. Great. Let's see. Andrew, good to see you. Andrew on Facebook. Hi, I'm interested. I am listening to the podcast. Awesome. Tell me what have you what are you taking away from the podcast? Tell me one or two things that you got value out of the podcast. I want to do more of that. And if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. So Andrew says, I've been trying to build bulk, ain't having any luck. All right. So I guess that means bulk. I'm just curious, Andrew, how old are you and how long have you been training? And the reason why I ask is bulk might mean something, uh, to someone kind of just getting into this. Have you been training for 20 years? Bulk might mean a little bit different. So what I'm taking in the context, and you tell me if I'm right, that you just want to build mass, you want to build size, right? Muscle mass, quality size, not fat and muscle, quality size, bulk, right? So just to let you know, someone who's been training a long time, they might say they're bulking, they're intentionally trying to eat up, and they don't care so much if they gain fat. They want to bulk up. And it doesn't necessarily have to be all lean muscle. They'll worry about that later when they start cutting. All right. So tell me how long you've been training. Tell me how old you are. Tell me how tall you are, how much weight. Let me know if you have body fat, what you would say if you had body fat, because that does make a difference, right? Because, and you'll hear me say this over and over again. So let's just say, I'm just gonna guess right here. Hey, keep those comments coming. I will get to you. Hello, Robin. Good to have you here. You're looking great. See you over on TikTok. So Andrew, let's just say you're 6 foot and you weigh 215 and you've been training for 2 years. I wonder how close I might be. All right. You might say, well, I want to stay over 200 pounds, but I have some fat to lose. All right. Well, the path to get the way, because when you say you want to look more muscular and you just assume you need more size, more weight. Now, again, a lot of times when you get lean and you can actually see the muscles and the separation, you look healthy, you look fit, you look athletic, and you give the illusion of bulking up more size, even though you're smaller in your t-shirts and you weigh less on the scale. But that's quality muscle. And that's really, especially when you're older and you're rather new to that, that's how you bulk up. You give the appearance of bulking up, but you don't go up the scale. You need to go down the scale, right? You don't fill out your shirts more. You're actually probably going to go down a size when you have that quality muscle. And that's if you think I got to lose 10 or 15 pounds, if not more, because a lot of times when men say they got to lose 10 or 15 pounds, the last 10 or 15 pounds to see what they want to see in the mirror, many times that could be as much as 30 pounds. And I know that doesn't sound right, but if you were to go down the journey, that's probably how it looks. So, that 6 foot, 215 wants to bulk up, get some size. That could be and done over time when you know what you do. That could be 6 foot 182, but you just look amazing. You look a stud. You look healthy. You don't need that 215 pounds on that frame to be taxing your heart. Even though you're bigger in your shirt and you weigh more on the scale, that's not the bulking you want to do. That's what young boys do when they have this illusion that that's muscle size. They want to be big, right? We can't do that. We should not do that. Never worked when they were younger. Just made them think they were bigger. And if they ever got lean, and some men have never, they stay big even at this age. They still have that same mentality, and they're still big, and they never get to 185. So they're healthy, they look fit. They stop taxing their heart so much with all that weight because they think it's muscle. So that's how the journey really looks. I'm wondering, Andrew, if that makes sense to you, where you are in the journey. All right. Charles from Missouri. Good to have you here, sir. Awesome. So Pete says, I've been listening and watching your workouts. Just watched your arm workout. Awesome. I can't wait to try the standing dumbbell wrist crawls for forearms. I love that. I love that exercise. And I was thinking about, well, why do I love that exercise? Do I love forearms? No, not particularly. You know what? Be perfectly honest. You know what I love about them? You stand tall, you stand proud, and it's not a lot of work getting into position. You don't have to worry about getting hurt, just stand there tall and proud for those wrist curls, and they're effective. A lazy man's exercise. All right. Let's see here. Sergey, good to have you here from Quebec. How are you doing, sir? Text me. Let me know how you're doing. All right. If you guys, I post my phone number. That is my direct number. If you have any questions, text me. Of course, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching and you want to know what that's all about, you're thinking, Skip, I'm doing pretty good. You put out a lot of videos and podcasts. I think I get it. Right. Yeah. I want to show you what this one-on-one coaching can actually do for you. All right. Got a great, if you go to solutionswithskip.com, post that all the time for $147. I mean, the biggest thing, you get to talk to me for 1 hour on a recorded call. I'll meet you where you are in this whole process, your understanding of it, so I can make, adjustments, but not a whole video or a whole podcast where you may know all of it. We won't waste time that way. I'll slice and dice and get to where you are right now to take you to that next level. Training routine, exercise videos. It's got a lot of audios to get this whole mentality and systems and strategies and a way of thinking, all right, when it comes to training and nutrition for older men with a busy, productive life. So go to solutionswithskip.com. I have that link in the description. It's a great package, but the biggest value is talking to me one-on-one, you and me. I don't farm out any of my coaching clients to assistants who know my system and they can carry it out. I do it all myself. So you'll be talking directly to me. So Juan, I'm starting at my age of 48. Awesome. Now, are you working out in a commercial gym, Juan, or are you at home in a home gym? And are you doing the traditional, weight training, the overload that you see me mostly doing now? Let me know that. And let me know how I can help you, Juan. So, and you're from Austin, Texas. Awesome. All right. So, home gym. Awesome. Now, is that well equipped? I'm just curious, for success, setting you up for success. All right. I know in Austin, there are Planet Fitnesses, there are Fitness 19s, there are 24-hour fitness. I mean, commercial gyms that have all the equipment. So every exercise that you see on the internet, you say, hey, that looks good. You'll have access to it. And it's for $20, $25 a month, depending on the gym. And you just have more flexibility, more variety, rather than, having to equip your home gym. And you can start off on a higher level. And I'm not sure how that works, but you can quit after a couple months and you have a $50, let's say, investment, rather than try to give yourself the best chance by getting all this equipment. Something to think about. Is that a possibility for you, Juan? Helping out a lot of people getting off to the right start. It's interesting. When I was 28 years old, how I really got going on this whole bodybuilding journey. And if you don't know, I've been doing this for 34 years. I started when I was 28, and I went on to be a 6-time national champion drug-free bodybuilder. 15 straight years where all I thought about was bodybuilding. Writing for the magazines, producing VHS tapes, DVDs, writing ebooks. I mean, it was for 15 straight years. So that now is 20 years now. I'm 20 years removed from that lifestyle. And so now I live a life where I get balance, you see, all the time and effort that I devote to my kids. They're the most important thing. So here at 61 years old, I have a 10-and-a-half-year-old son who just turned 9. And we do a lot of sports. I use the sports to build confidence and personal development. And if you're ever interested, I don't know, depending on the age, like, Juan, you may have kids, but younger kids, or, if you're involved in your grandkids' sports development, I do a podcast there, Coach Your Kids Right. There's a Facebook page. You can just put Coach Your Kids Right, and you'll see the podcast that I do. And I aim it for children 5 to 8 years old, their parents, to get them off to a great start, physically, mentally, for the confidence of personal development. So that's something else I'm passionate, put a lot of time and effort into that too. And, to live a long, healthy life for my young kids, it's important that I really, really take care of myself. You may have noticed, that Skip, you got 11 straight days of working out with weights. What's going on there? Don't you work 4 or 5 days, 45 minutes, take that time off? Well, I'm doing a little experiment, right? So we'll see how this does. I was thinking that, I know most of you guys feel more comfortable with more volume and less intensity, and I talk about it. Look, if you know what you're doing, you can get more done in less time. All right. Well, one thing is that I'm going to experiment with, maybe less intensity. I know, Skip, what are you talking about? You're doing 8, 10 reps or whatever, 8 reps with 100-pound dumbbells on the incline bench press. Well, that that's not intense. All right. But I'm going to train more frequently. But I'm also going to, getting off. So you'll see I trained 11 straight days. I asked myself, I said, what would happen to my body? What would I look like? What would I feel like if I worked out every single day in 2024? All right, with a formal type workout. Now, not all the traditional gym workout. You're also going to see me do more workouts that uh, maybe more for your average 55-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old. Not with all the weights. I'll continue to do that. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I like. That inspires a lot of you guys. You get motivated by that. But what if I did? If you guys remember the 15 the athletic workouts, be more athletic. Do that kind of training, something that you can do at your home for 10 minutes a day. You're going to start seeing me do those in the gym, in my backyard. All right. So you're going to see a lot of different type of training besides just the weight training that every older man could do. Right. So I'll have something for everybody, but I want to see, what would happen to my body? How long can I withstand it? Right. I don't have any joint pain. I don't have any shoulder, knee, hip issues or anything like that. I don't want that too. I tell you guys, less volume, but be smart about it. But this should be a fun experience. So I'm 11 for 11 so far. We'll see how long that lasts. It's making easy too with all my response with the kids in sports. That they've been out of school too, so that helps out. All right, been watching your older post. Great info. Yeah, that. Here's the thing. I know CPS. I know that you're really into this, and even though that you're older, but just like in life, the success is the basic organizing fundamentals. All right. Um, I make new videos, I make new podcasts, but you'll see it's the same organizing principles. So, older video. I mean, if I get whatever videos you watched, whatever videos you watch, and this is my brand. I don't go off into the weeds. Oh, I got to do something new, and I'm just going to post it. So you think, oh, this must be better because it's new. It's not how it works in life. It doesn't work that way in weight training. So I can replace an older video, but it would just be this version of me, and hopefully I'll say it as well, but hopefully better. But it's going to be the same information, probably explained the same exact way. So don't let older, that's what young people think. Someone's got to be new to be effective. And I'm not saying that I use outdated old strategies. So just something for you to think about. That I think that's the problem with the internet, actually, is how the young people deliver it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the question. Where's the recovery period, right? The recovery period is in less intensity so that I can recover from the workout. But again, you'll see how it won't be weight training. And I'm also figuring this out as I go too. More volume. It's really like an experiment. I always like to test myself. I know you guys have certain opinions about things that I don't believe work, but it's just traditional thinking. So I'm going to kind of step into your shoes, maybe not yours, George. But you guys take your recovery. Don't try to model what I do. The good thing is I'll be ripped and shredded, and you'll say, "Wow, that guy's a freak at 61 and half years old," right? But too, I've eaten so clean in the last like 6 weeks. I mean, absolutely no junk food. Okay, none. Not that junk food is bad and makes you fat, but I no junk food. I didn't even have any of my son's birthday cake a couple days. Yep, 2 days ago. Right. Let's see here. Um, good, good, good. You're enjoying the post. Good, solid information. Yeah. Um, what about some tacos? Wow, haven't thought about tacos in a long time. Sounds good right now, though. No tacos for me, but you could have tacos. I mean, if you know how to do this all, you know how to do this all. Yeah, I mean, you can work that in. That's congratulations. Congratulations for what, sir? What is that? Happy birthday to my son. Let's see here. Docs are going. Is that from working out? Is that for something? Tell me what's that from? So my wife, Juan, my wife says, I'll make you some lettuce tacos. Let's see here. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for my son, Sergi. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got everybody. So are you clear about the recovery period, George, on this little journey I'm going on? Yeah, I don't know if you know about the 75 hard challenge, and they want some type of 2 workouts twice a day, right? And it just has to be any type of workout, um, and I did that 75 hard, so it was 2 workouts, and that was like I did a lot of walking at night. That was a fun journey. I was taxing. What's the What's the best time to do weights? Mornings, afternoon, or evening? So usually when you see that question answered, and I think every fitness influencer probably answers that question in the video. They'll talk about science. Let's see here. Get my microphone going here. Test, test, test. Okay, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. All right, there we go. All right, let's catch up on these questions here. Uh, what's the best time to work out? But they'll usually back up science saying your growth hormone levels are are highest in the morning, and that's when you should work out. Okay. Yeah. Sounds probably a little. All right. Are we back on? Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's get back on this here. All right. Let's see here. T25, good cardio, in my opinion. That's a long 25 minutes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm not actually even sure what is T25 Cardio. Is that somebody's branded form of cardio? Let me look that up real quick. Okay. T25 Alpha Cardio. Is that for if you're male equipment? Oh, that's what's his name, Sean? That's yeah. He what was he? He was famous for hello, 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 Santos. Um, what was he? Peanut? Was it P90X? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. So got to come up with something new and not T T25 by Busybody. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let me catch up with some of these questions here. Yeah. I mean, any type of movement, getting your heart rate up. It's good on your joints. It looks great. You're gonna see me do some of those workouts as I get going here. See me with my shirt off, get tan for you. See how crazy you can see a physique at 61, almost 62 years old. So look for that soon. The unveiling. All right. And a lot of different training too here. Let's see here. Frozen screen. Gone again. All right. Audio change sounded like you changed mics. Good now. Okay, great. Let's see. What's the best time? So did I? Okay, well, I was talking about Juan about the best time to do weights, right? So you'll hear it for testosterone, your growth hormone. You'll hear that they'll favor the science for the morning. You'll hear when you want to prioritize your fitness that you do that in the morning too. So you'll hear the morning a lot, but really whatever you can be consistent and you're strong and you're consistent, can do overload, that's the best time. All right. So that if that's the afternoon for you, if that's the evening, that's the best time to train. There's a lot of information out there that they talk about optimal, optimal, optimal. And in all these studies, right? The question, if you could follow up with them, well, okay, that's optimal. 10 out of 10. I should train in the morning because my growth hormone or whatever. The follow-up question, if you could ask them and they don't present it, is what would it be if I'm the same person, just as consistent? I back it up with the same great eating habits, but I have to go in the afternoon. How much of a drop off would that be? As far as, especially when, you're older, right? And you got a lot of things to do, the drop off, consistent with all the other factors and just change the time, it's not going to make a difference. It's not, regardless of what the studies say. And many of, the training theories or the science, it's, I'm not saying one isn't optimal or one isn't what they say. It's just that it's not making that much of a difference. It's just that we fitness experts and especially guys who are into the science, making a name for this stuff, they're running out of things to say. They got to say something new, unique, and different, even if for you practically it doesn't make a difference, right? But it's optimal, right? How do I train my neck? I don't train my neck. I don't train my neck. Okay, Lars, how are you, sir? Skip, are you an advocate of heavy lifting? And what were your all-time best bench, dead, squats numbers in your prime and currently as an older lifter? Let me tell you from my perspective, right? So I know that the way I train is heavy with the right form, mind muscle connection, um, get more done in less time. Intensity can make up for longer workouts, more sets, more reps, more frequency, where you're going to have to train lighter, right? I have a smaller rep range, so I can lift heavier, right? So, but it really doesn't matter if you just say 4 to 6 reps and hit that muscle. You have to train heavier, right? If you train 4 to 6, you can't use the weight that you can do 8 or 10 reps and just do 4 to 6, right? Doesn't make sense. I'm able to do with this weight, I can do 8 to 10 when I push myself, when I feel, close to failure at the end. But I'm just going to just change the rep scheme and just go to 4 to 6. I heard 4 to 6 rep scheme is the best. No, what makes that 4 rep scheme, the same or better is you got to use more weight safely, use more weight effectively. So heavy is relative, right? It's how it feels at the end of the set. So, a lot of times, weight, I mean, some people are just stronger. Some people weigh more, right? If you're 200 pounds and you're, 6 foot or something like that, I mean, you can't compare how much weight you lift to a guy who's, 5'7", 150 pounds. If they're anywhere close to you, that's like more than what you're lifting. So, but again, it's how you stimulate the muscle. So heavy lifting, everybody should be into heavy lifting. They might not pick up heavier dumbbells, but it should feel heavy at the end of their set. If that makes sense, that's what stimulates muscle. So everybody should be into heavy lifting, even if they don't use a heavy dumbbell or as far as what it's printed on the side of the dumbbell, all right, or how many plates they use on a barbell, or how much they have on the stack. Everybody should be lifting heavy, if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. A lot of guys get that confused. I never, I don't, what does that even that mean? So if you said, what were my best deadlifts or squats? I've never, well, I think if you watch one of my old training videos, I think I try to lift on video to see how much I can lift once, I think, on a bench press. I don't really think I did it, that well. I got it, but it was like 500 pounds. But I've never tried to do like under 4 reps ever. Never. I mean, maybe I got under 4 reps. So so if I'm always trying to put enough weight where I can do 4 and not 1, does that qualify as, my biggest lift? And I was always a bodybuilder too. So, but did I know that, especially, when so I was going to retire from bodybuilding. Uh, I was going to retire from bodybuilding like one year, whatever, 1998. And someone said, and this is before everything like this on the internet was so convenient like this. Uh, and someone said, you should really have a video of all this. People around the world would want to see you. And this is like I said, way back in 1998. And I just had really primitive digital camera. And I mean, you couldn't even do it on your computer at home, certainly not on your phone. I had to go to like a wedding planner and he would, do whatever we can do on our own device, our own uh, phones now with a better quality. And so I just got that, and I just filmed me like leading up to what thought was going to be my last show. And man, the response, you got the amount of VHS tapes you bought, right? So I lifted how I lifted, but after that point, every time I filmed, I now knew, thousands, well, certainly hundreds, if not, well, I'm sure it's 1,000 of these recordings, and then went to VHS. It was going to go out all over the world of all the bodybuilding enthusiasts, and I was going to get feedback on it, right? So, look, I'm in a whole different mental conditions when I know that when I'm lifting. So I lifted a lot of weight. Um, you know, I mean, I don't try to lift that weight, as you see. Part of the strategy of lifting weight is always having a spotter, so mentally you felt comfortable. If you watch all my videos, always have a very well trained spotter, and I always feel safe. So now I don't do that. I mean, now I don't have a spotter, so I mean that's going to take big chunk off the weight I'll even try, right? Even getting up to position. So lifting heavy weight isn't a priority right now, and I'm not in the same conditions. But I'll tell you, like I said, you see what weight I use. You can see my last 11 days of workouts, 11 days in a row of workouts. Heavy, light. Well, that's what I lift now. I mean, I haven't heard any comments. Every once in a while, there's a 61-year-old guy who's really into his lifting. And hello, Josh. Loving the new podcast. Awesome. I love that feedback. Thank you, Josh. Hey, you guys, let me know what you want me to talk about too. Maybe some of these questions here I'll make one of these podcasts too. But every once in a while, a guy says, I lift that much weight just like you, and I'm a carpenter, I'm a real estate agent or whatever, right? But most of the comments are, there is no way an older man should be lifting that weight. So heavy, light, I guess that's for you to judge. But remember, I'm 5'11", 205 pounds or something like that too. Also doing this for 34 years. What's heavy to me may be way too heavy for you. And don't worry about that. Just push yourself. Yes. So isn't hell heavy relative to the person? How about reps to failure? Well, again, when the nerds talk about, should you train to failure? Should you not train to failure? Science says, most people don't train to failure, even if they think they're training to failure, because it's such a mental thing, right? So, when you put that weight down, whatever weight you picked up, whatever your up scheme is, when you put it down, you should be pretty close, and stay safe, of course, and use good form and good mind muscle connection. But you really can't do anymore, or certainly you're coming closer to that. All right. That's as close as failure as you need, and that will make that weight heavy. Let's see here. Mike, how are you, sir? Mike on YouTube. What are your thoughts on natural supplements to build testosterone, especially um, for somebody over 55? I'm talking about Tribulus, DHEA. Yeah. You know what? I that was the podcast today, Lars. And I did talk about that. Oh, Mike, and um, now I'm not saying that in studies this didn't raise your testosterone, this over the counter type supplement. But I think for what you're paying and what your expectations, they don't deliver. None of them deliver. So that's my opinion. Right. Oh, good. Thanks for the great answer. Awesome. Glad you found value. What do you think of all the protein powder products? I think that men our age, and I know you're 48, um, it's relatively easy to get enough protein, not bodybuilder protein, 1.5, 2 grams body. I mean, enough, really, not to, not this extreme type. It's easy enough to get it from your food, the protein that you need. But if you need to keep the calories down and get more protein more conveniently, protein powders. I consider protein powders just like food. As far as the quality, every company says theirs is better. You hear people talk about whey or casein, right, or a combination of it. You know, uh, I don't know how that, in the big picture, over the consistency, get it from your food. Protein powders will help you. But if you think that, you need protein powder to build muscle and you're buying into that from the supplement companies or someone with their discount code, that's not true. Good, Mike. All right. All right, guys. Man, been on here for 42 minutes. So glad you're here. Again, continue to listen to the podcast. If you do, send me an email, send me a text. My number is in the description. If you have any questions, you have any something that you didn't hear or you want to hear on the podcast, let me know. And if you're interested, so someone say with this information, well, what can one-on-one coaching do? Well, a lot of times and maybe not you because you're the type of person to hang out with me here, ask some questions here, but for a lot of men who are busy, sometimes it's not doing what you know. It's not whether they know it or not. It's doing what they know and making sure they understand it and making sure they have the certainty of, oh, this is going to pay off. Is this what the body does in this time frame? I think I should be getting better results. And see, that really works on the person's mind. And then they go, well, this isn't working. And then they don't dot every I or cross every T. They don't follow through enough. And really, just because they're uncertain and they don't know how it works, they're not putting in the effort. And then before you know, they quit. You started watching me yesterday. So glad you're here. You just ran into me, Ramon. All right, guys. All right, so that's going to do it for this workouts for older men live. Curious, let's see here. Curious to know how you keep training that intensity every day. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out there. Because I don't know how I'll be in hell day number 12 tomorrow. All right. But like I said, what if I train every single day? But you'll see, I'll change workout from that structured weight training workout to more athletic type training. Who knows? I might do that for 2 weeks straight. Well, we're going to do this as we go. I want to make sure I want to be healthy and fit. By the time I'm 62, I want to have the most impressive 62-year-old body, drug-free body, growth hormone, testosterone replacement free body that the world has ever seen. Right. So it's going to take some experimentation on top of everything, that I've learned and help apply to you. So thanks for all your advice. Have a good night. You too, Juan. Thanks for being here in Texas, Austin, Texas. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. Reach out for one-on-one coaching. Get that accountability so you'll move forward with more certainty, more confidence. You'll do it and you'll have it for the rest of your life when you're done with me. All right, got many different ways to help you reach your goals with coaching. Reach out. We'll talk about it. Don't worry about if you call me that you got to make a decision then, because I know, especially the way that I do it, it's hard to grasp how much it's going to benefit you. All right, guys.